Hello, folks. This is Parmjit Singh. How are you doing? Today, I want to talk to you about modifying or changing your old habit patterns, the patterns you have lived through or with for many years, the patterns which continue to hijack your day to day activities, patterns you would like to change for better. Though it can be challenging to identify and change old established habit patterns, but there's a hope because our brain is plastic. It continues to change according to the experience we throw it in and immerse it in for a longer period of time. So, the two things which can come handy are very effective in breaking old habit patterns are number one, be aware of your habit pattern. This is the most tricky place or tricky thing to do because oftenly the things we want to change, the things that annoy us the most, we often tend to ignore it. We engage in a shopping experience or distractions to not feel the antsiness that comes about when we are thinking or feeling of those kind of behaviors. So, one of the most fundamental thing to do at the beginning is to become aware. So, awareness is the first step. Once the awareness comes, then we have an opportunity to change it. Now, the reason why we often feel uncomfortable to acknowledge even that we have reactive habit patterns, the patterns which hijack our day to day activities, is what comes after awareness. Because awareness does lead to unpleasant experience. It reminds of our own deficiencies or the things which we don't want to acknowledge, the darker side of our own selves. So, awareness, in order for it to work well and in order for it to become a aid in changing our habit patterns, it has to be held in the second step. So, whatever comes out of awareness, whatever things you identify out of awareness, has to be held in what we call non judgmental proposition. So, the second step is keeping what we call a composed or equanimous stance to whatever comes out of awareness. So, first step is awareness. Be aware of whatever you want to change, of whatever you want to modify. Second, whenever you become aware of it, be equanimous, be composed, be calm, not react to it. These two things can be a powerful mechanism through which you can not only identify all those annoying habit patterns, but you can also begin to change. Because remember, each time you do not engage with the same habit pattern in the same way you have done in the past, you begin to change it for better. Since our brain is plastic, each time you immerse it in an experience which is different from the previous experience, it will begin to change. It takes time, but it always begin to change. So, step number one, be aware of whatever you want to change. Second, whatever comes out of that awareness, hold it in equanimity, hold it in calm and composure, non reactive stance. When those two things together work together, they begin to change and modify our behavior patterns. And each time you begin to do things differently, the old habit pattern starts to die out and the new habit pattern begins to take some kind of a place or germination. And then, if you continue to disregard or not react to the old habit patterns, that pattern will die out eventually. And the new pattern, which have been keeping nurtured through each consolidation, will begin to become better and better. And then at one point, it will take over the old habit patterns, and the new dominant habit pattern will be the one you have just built up. So, two things moving forward. If you want to change any reactive habit patterns, step number one, become aware of it. Do not try to find distractions to avoid it. You cannot change what you are not aware of. So it's important to be aware, but that awareness has to be held in equanimous stance. You have to be equanimous about it. You have to be non-reactive about it. So put these things, two things together, and you get a powerful recipe to change our habit patterns. And since it becomes and comes out of our own inner doing, then our brain begins to change, and that will begin to support our new habit patterns moving forward. So try this, test drive this idea of being aware and equanimous each time something antsy, something nasty, something annoying comes up, and that's not the behavior pattern you want to live with for the rest of your life. So try it. It is simple way to work with our behavior patterns and using the natural aspect of the brain to be plastic in our favor. If you want some hints or some techniques to actually work through this process at a much more systematic level, you can reach out to me through the video, through our website, or through Instagram page, and I will be happy to help you guide along. In the meantime, continue to explore, continue to stay curious, and reasonably non judgmental. Thank you very much for stopping by. I will see you next time. Until then, bye for now.
Please subscribe to the channel, like and share. Thank you.